Beltran, and a beautiful spread of Momona Bakery and fresh fruit. So, we have sponsors every week. Please make it a point to come into the office, feed your soul with great fellowship and information, and feed your opu with great food. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 10 o'clock. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Is this my camera? So for those in the branch, please go ahead and get some food. We have Momona Bakery and we have beautiful fruit spread from Ray and Kara Beltran. And I'm going to have Kara come up and speak first about whatever she chooses to speak about this morning. Kara, if you want to come in, this is your camera.
Oh, that's it right there?
Yep, talk to your camera. And that puts you to our people at home who are participating.
Well, it's not too late to come in.
Exactly. Drive on in.
Whether it's like now or later, we've got 24 Momona pastries for you. If you've never been to Momona's, it's just totally off the hook.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And if you've been, you'll probably be walking through the door within the next 10-15 minutes. But at any rate, my name is Kara Beltran. For those of you whom I haven't had the opportunity or privilege to meet or work with, I look forward to that. I'm a senior member, not just by age, but by experience of the Beltran Group. We're a family of originators. Myself, Kara Beltran, I've been closing loans since forever and ago. For 37 years, my husband, Ray Beltran, he was one of your fellow realtors. He sold real estate with Realtor Association of Maui for, I don't know, 17 years. And Ray's story is when Bill Woods opened up Keller Williams here on Maui, he was one of Bill Woods' first recruits at Keller Williams. So, and thank you. Yeah. And so he worked with a lot of rookie realtors and brought them on board. One of such is Josh Sherman. You guys know Josh Sherman. He was one of the people that Ray had the privilege of mentoring in the early stages of Josh's career. So lots of kudos to Ray. He's contributed quite a bit in his realtor relationship with the Realtor Association of Maui. And then there's myself. I joined this business when I was 24, 25. This is what 37 years in the mortgage industry looks like. So I always kid with the MLOs, so it's not too late. It's not too late for you to change your career if you need to consider it. But at any rate, all joking aside, helping people get the money to purchase the homes have been my passion. And helping watch young realtors, young in age or young in experience, come on board and build their realtor careers have also been a passion of mine. It's so nice to see realtors come and start, from scratch and then just watch them take off and build an empire. And a lot of you who are probably out there looking at me talking, you know what I'm talking about. I know the ones in this room know what I'm talking about. So at any rate, Laura asked me to come and talk to you guys. She said, Kara, what do you know about the FHA 203H? I said, I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough to be effective. Lucky for me, in the 37 years I've been selling loans, I've never had to sell a disaster loan. And that's what the FHA 203H stands for. It's the 203 is for residential in the FHA world. And when they add the alphabets at the backside, that's the product description. So 203 is for residential, single family residence, multifamilies. And then you add the B for boy, that's regular FHA. You add the K, that's renovation, that's FHA renovation loan. Then you add the H, and that's disaster. So the beauty of the disaster loan, if there's such a thing, right? They created the disaster loan in order to help families who were hit heavy by the disasters. And so that's the reason why I said, I've been blessed to not have to deal with that kind of loan my entire career. But here we are, and we find ourselves in this predicament. And, the people here on Maui are so sensitive, right, to other people. Like, you're not just going to run out and start declaring all out, hey, we get this disaster preparedness loan. We had to give people in the community time to heal, right? But then you start seeing posts, right? Other mortgage companies posting about the 203H, and then it's like, okay, you need to be a big girl and you need to toughen up and you need to go out there and talk to everybody about the 203H because it's a fantastic loan. So for those who have been impacted, whose homes are done, it's no longer occupiable, whose homes are just gone, right, because of the fires. If your credit score is 500 to 579, you can replace your house. You can buy another house to replace your home with 10% down. If your credit score is 580 and higher, you can replace your home with 0 down payment. And that's the wow factor. People are like, really, I can do that? Well, what about the fact that I have my obligation to repay my note on my other house, right? I'm in the middle of juggling things with the forbearance, with getting my insurance checked to pay off my house. I'm trying to figure that out. The great news is that as long as we document what's going on with the forbearance, et cetera, we do not have to count that debt against the borrower. So they can actually replace their house, okay, their home, without us worrying about counting that debt against them. Isn't that fantastic? That's amazing. That's an amazing, and I say it's a very merciful aspect of the disaster loan program. It's good for single family residences. It's not good for multi-units. Now I'm going to take a moment to explain this. And this is where my experience is helpful to you, because a loan officer that doesn't know well enough could be ruling out house and ohanas from the loan. The reality of it is that here in Hawaii, the house and ohana is a very chameleon product because it can either be considered a 1 to 4 unit, or it can be treated as a 1 unit with an ADU. So naturally, if the program says no can, 2 to 4 units, I'm going to suggest that we run it as a single family residence with ADU. What's the caveat? What's the catch? No can use income from the second unit to help your buyer qualify for the loan. That's the catch. Because why? Because it has to be run as a 1 unit property in order to qualify for the 203H. Okay. So we have to be brilliant as MLOs, originators, in the way that we assess loan programs so that we can best put things together to accommodate the needs of your buyer and to accommodate your need as a realtor who's trying to help facilitate, right, the purchase. Okay, so just understand that even though there may be rental income from the ADU, that in the case of the FHA 203H, we cannot use that income to help qualify the loan. Why? Because we're trying to pass this house, right, single family plus ADU, as that and not as a multi-unit. And then if they desperately need the income from the second unit to qualify, then we're going to sit down and say, okay, only 3.5% down payment. That's all we need. 3.5% down payment for an FHA multi-unit. Let's see who we can get gift money from. Let's see how we can rearrange some of the donations and the money that you have coming in. Let's just see how brilliant we can be with helping you sort all of this out so that we can make it work. Okay, so it's a good loan program for 1 unit properties. Modular homes can qualify for that. So if there's a FABMAT house for sale, it can qualify for that. Why? Because modular homes have to go through the permitting process with the County of Maui. Therefore, we've always been of the understanding and the interpretation of the rules that modular homes therefore qualify as stick-built homes. Okay. Manufactured housing can also qualify for the program, and any house on wheels cannot, right? So they got to be off the wheels, on the ground, that kind of stuff. Condos, let's talk condos. Yes, if the condominium is on the FHA condo approval list, then it can qualify for the FHA 203H. Now, how many of you have recently gone to the FHA website to look at the FHA condo approval list? Raise your hands. Okay, if you haven't, do not be disappointed when you go to look, because it's very anemic. The list is extremely anemic. And do not make the mistake of what a lot of people do is they go look at the list and they're like, oh, get choke condo names, but they never make it to the far right of the page. The far right of the page, it says expired approval. And almost 95% of them are expired. So you have to be very careful when you go to look at the condo approval list. Now, notwithstanding what I just said, they reintroduced, I'm not, Michelle might know this, she's been selling real estate for quite some time, but they reintroduced maybe 3-5 years ago, the FHA condo spot approval.
Okay.
So yeah,
You
see,
can recertify an individual building.
just the individual building for that individual transaction. Just like the name sounds, just for that spot loan. It cannot be for any other loan. So if the condominium, right, based on our assessment as frontline mortgage loan originators, if I'm taking a look at it and I'm talking to Michelle or to Laura or to whoever, right, Liza, you know, and you say, oh, well, this condo, what do you think? And I say, well, tell me more about it. And then I'll go do some preliminary research. And then I'll say, okay, well, does the listing agent have any of the condo docs? Might be aged, I don't care. I just need to take a look at it so that I can get a feel for whether or not I think this condo is gonna be warrantable by my FHA underwriter, right? Subject to updates, of course, subject to you putting them into contract. And then when I get updated FHA condominium docs, we'll rush it up to our condo review team and hopefully we'll get FHA spot approval so that we can do it.
You have a question on the monitor.
Hey,
That's-
how's it going, guys?
Good
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. The modular homes like FADMAC and the manufactured homes qualify for 3.5% down payment
Okay, my question is,
on
Oh.
on FHA loans, period. On all FHA loans, period. And you'll be surprised on all of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac home loans too. So a short story, I'm going to take a slight detour because there was a fallout and the borrower went to brand X local bank who insisted that because it was a that they needed 25% down payment. So I, of course, had to step up to the plate for the borrowers and I had to explain to the listing agent, no, that's not our interpretation. We don't interpret things the same way that the banks interpret things. So with a lot of faith, they allowed us to do the loan and we closed the loan with 3% down payment. So you can just imagine what the outcome would have been for that young couple if the listing agent didn't trust me, right? So the listing agent had to go call a bunch of people, talk to their principal broker who said, oh yeah, Carol's cool. She's been around for a long time and she says she can do it, she can do it. So after talking to like a half a dozen people, the listing agent said, okay, fine, we'll trust you.
There's another question. Can you rebuild on your own land?
Yes, you can. So with the FHA 203H, if that's what you want to do, yes, you can. So even though the house isn't there, you can build from scratch. So we're going to need the bid proposal. We're going to need all of that good stuff. And we're going to have to run it by the appraiser. The appraiser is going to have to order the appraisal report on a subject to completion basis. When that's all said and done, the underwriter will approve the loan, we'll close the loan. And then after we close the loan, the FHA 203H team steps in and they start dealing with the disbursements, okay?
Kayla has a question for you. Kayla?
Hey, good morning, everyone. So I'm curious on, can you qualify somebody on the F203H loan who lost their income? And what's the...
Unfortunately, the FHA 203H, like all agency loans, require income to qualify. But FHA in its very nature does allow co-signers. So if they have people in their family, whether they live here or don't live here, that are willing to step up to the plate and help them co-sign, just so that they can get into a home. And then later on, when they get their jobs, they can refinance. Because there's nothing stopping them from refinancing out of the FHA loan and into a conventional loan at the appropriate time. In fact, we do an excellent job of nurturing all of our FHA loan people because we know that every lender and his brother is going to be out there soliciting them on a refinance after they've made 6 full months payments. So for us, you know, we nurtured them, we made the magic happen. So we really want to be with them in their journey to help them refinance out of FHA into conventional. But yes, the FHA 203H allows them to rebuild from scratch. And that's where we at SunWest Mortgage stand out from the crowd, because there are mortgage companies out there that, number one, do not do the FHA 203H, even though they are an FHA approved lender. And it has to do with the fact that you have to have an underwriting team and a post-closing team that has the capacity to manage all of that post-closing, to manage the underwriting piece. So even though they might be really good FHA lenders, if they tell you, no, we no can do the FHA 203H, that's the reason. It's because, number one, they don't have the capacity with their underwriting team, with the post-closing team. And number two, they don't have the experience. Okay, so
We have a few people asking if you can share your contact information. We do have a stack of business cards. Oh, Ray, you've loaded it in? Thank you. Ray's posted it in the chat, everyone, to contact Kara directly. And we have a nice stack of cards here in the office. We'll hold on to, you can pick up here in the office.
any more questions?
Any other questions?
Okay, two important things I want to share with you before I forget. The timeline is important because from the date that the president announced that it was a major disaster area, which I went and checked, is August 10th, 2023. You have precisely 12 months from that date to obtain what we refer to in our world as the FHA case number. And those of you who've done FHA loans with your mortgage teams before, you know what I'm talking about. So first, you have to have an accepted purchase contract. Then you have to hand the ball over to your mortgage team because they need to order the FHA case number ASAP. So when you're talking about a deadline, I'm telling the people that work with me, your deadline's August 5 to get me a purchase contract, because we're not going to push it so close that everything's going to fall apart. Because I went and looked up the calendar, and August 10th, 2024 falls on a Saturday. So now what you really have is August 9th. And August 5, I think, was a Monday, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys know how it goes, because sometimes I don't get the purchase contract or the tag that the deal got accepted for like 48 hours. And I'm like going, aren't I supposed to be the first person to know? So, by the time I get tagged, I'm like going, okay, well, we got to hustle. And if I get tagged at 4 o'clock at night, guess what? We're not going to be able to get into FHA Connect until the next morning if we're lucky. And sometimes when the people jump in to get the FHA case number, inevitably they're bound to run into something that showed up in the FHA Connect that prohibits them from getting the FHA case number. And so those are the kinds of things we have to deal with. So I'm telling everybody that works with my team, your deadline as realtors to get a purchase contract accepted is August 5, 2024. And please make sure you tag us immediately. Although you might be busy doing this, doing that, because there are things you guys have to do that you're busy to set up before you take it to escrow. And that's all fine and dandy. But we can bypass some of that if you tell us that it got accepted, so that we can go get the FHA case number immediately and not risk pulling our hair out because the deadline's come and gone.
Lee Potts has a question for you.
Hey, Lee.
Aloha.
How are you?
We're muddling through.
Lee and his
So
wife lost their
is-
condo, an investment condo as well, and their branch office.
Sorry to hear about all of that. I've been I'm friends with, I follow you guys and Barbara. But
Thank you.
Good to see and hear.
Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, thanks for being here. My question is, if the deadline is August 5th, and we were at a meeting, I guess it was Friday night, and the commander of the Army Corps of Engineers said it will be 2 years before you can start building on your land in Lahaina. How do you work with that the August 5th deadline that you're talking about? Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. That's a really good question. So what it is your home may not be ready for the rebuild process and the use of the FHA 203H, but the program allows you to replace your home. And so therefore, if given the opportunity to purchase something with zero down payment, right, outside of your home. And given the fact that we don't have to count that debt against you under those circumstances, what we're hoping is that individuals who can make it work will purchase a replacement home just so that they can move into a home that's their very own and not have to pay rent for the duration of an additional year or 18 months while they're waiting for the green light to build on their home. That way, when the time comes, they'll have an asset that they can either keep and rent or sell and get the net proceeds out in order to then focus on rebuilding their home that was in the disaster.
Thank you.
What about area restrictions?
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
I'm happy to tell you that your replacement home does not have to be within the same neighborhood, does not have to be within the same county, does not have to be on the same island, does not have to be in the same state. So if we can prove that you were displaced and so now your job is, I tried, I know I can get a job, I gotta go Las Vegas because that's the only place hiring me for a job. You can qualify for the 203H to purchase your replacement home with 0 down payment if you have credit score of 580 plus in wherever you gotta go. Whether it's Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, wherever. You might have family. Now, I know that this is a sensitive topic, and one of the reasons why I waited to share the information is because everybody's trying to keep all of our Maui families on Maui, right? And so you don't want to be the first person to utter the words that you can buy your house outside of state. But the ugly reality of it is, and as I'm pre-approving more and more and more families that are discouraged because they don't have a job, is that they might be faced with the very tough decision of having to get a job outside of state. And with that decision, fortunately, homes outside of state are cheaper than homes over here. So when we're, looking at how we're going to pre-approve them to buy a house out of state, guess what? It's easier for them to buy a house out of state than it is for them to buy a house here. Now, is it forever? Most likely not. Maybe they got to go for the next 1, 2, 3 years while the dust settles and then relocate and come back. But at least if they can purchase a home that's going to be their investment, that's going to appreciate in value, that they can take right off, that's their legacy, right? They're building legacy for themselves, for their family.
2 more questions. If they rebuild on their land, there's no purchase contract. How do you lend on that? Can you lend just for the construction?
So if we have a handout that was passed out. At the very top of the handout is a matrix. Inside of that matrix, it talks about refinancing. So we can loan for anyone that's not a purchase, and thank you for asking the questions because I didn't cover that. We can build, renovate up to 97.75% loan to value.
It's huge.
Okay, 97.75% loan to value. And depending on the borrower's circumstance in Lahaina, a lot of these families lived in homes that were paid for in full. So when they get their checks from their insurance company, they're ready to rock and roll to rebuild a house, right? But now they got to wait on the government to clear their ability to get on that land when it's all cleaned up to build. What are they going to do with their money in that 1, 2, 3 year period? If they want to do something brilliant with it, they're going to want to invest it. And hopefully they'll invest it in another piece of real estate. The tendency with people who have a lot of money that aren't really good money managers is at some point, all the money's going to be gone. And they're going to say, I don't even know where the money went. It was there 1 year and the next year it wasn't. So, if they put their money in another piece of real estate, it's going to be there for them. When they go to resell it, they can get it back out and go build their house. They have to think along the lines of, what am I going to do that's brilliant with my money within this next 1 to 3 year period? Okay. I sat with Lahaina victim, and they're going to get a lot of money from the insurance company. Their lot and their house is paid for in full. They can take that money and they can go buy another lot because there's another area in Lahaina that they were eyeballing, and they can pay cash for the lot and they can pay cash for the construction of that house. And I said to her, you don't even have to worry, because at the end of the 1 to 3 years, you're going to have equity. At that point, when you're ready to build this house over here, we can always put the loan either on this house or that house, or you can sell that house, take all the money and put it in this house. You have options. And she walked out of my living room feeling really like, wow, I have options. So I think it's really important, you know, like I said, I started off with many of us here, we live here local, right? We are local.
I'm just gonna confirm for Nancy Montoya, yes, the loan product is a 203H loan. And Lisa, yes, this loan is only for displaced, impacted families. It's a disaster loan, 203H. We have 2 more minutes to wrap
Yeah.
up.
I'm going to tell you guys that although the interest might be on the 203H, each of those families' profiles is different from the other. Seriously. As someone who's been originating loans for 37 years, I always tell Ray, my husband, and my kids, Ema is here, my daughter, and Louise, my daughter-in-law, when we're talking, I go, it's fascinating to me because each person's scenario is so different from another. I don't think I've ever come across 2 identical situations that are identical to one another. Every single loan I've ever closed, and I've closed thousands of them, it's so unique from the other. So for me, it's so important to just get them to pick up the phone. And as more and more people are calling, it's so awesome because it's just a point of, let's talk story. Let's find out what's going on with you. And then we're going to see if this FHA 203H is the best fit for you. Because if for whatever reason it's not, right? Because we're not going to put somebody in FHA 203H that doesn't need an FHA 203H. We all, if you know anything about FHA, you know that it's premium pricing, it's expensive. It comes with a 1.75% upfront mortgage insurance premium tag that you got to finance into the loan. And you have to pay mortgage insurance premium for the life of the loan. If your LTV is over 90%, and if your LTV is below 90%, it'll go bye-bye in 11 years. We all know that. But we also know that no other agency is going to loan them money with a credit score of 500. And we know that no other agency is going to give them 0 down payment with a credit score of 580. So, you know, bless the FHA. It was created for a purpose. I use the FHA all the time in my 37-year career to get people into home ownership, just to get them in the door. If that's the only loan on earth that's going to allow them to get into home ownership, that's the loan we're going to use. And then we take them out of the loan, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, we take them out of that loan. We save them $500 on their mortgage insurance premium. They no longer have to pay, you know, and we drop the rate by 1%. You save them another $250. And they just love you because you never forget them, and you call them after 6 months and you're saving them $800 per month on their payment. So
Another question
It
is,
works.
what is the maximum loan amount?
9775 for the county of Maui. 9775 for the county of Maui.
Great. Kara, I want to thank you for joining us
Thank
this
you.
morning. So much good information.
You guys didn't see, but email, you want to come say hi, just wave hi, just so that they know what you look like. This
Talk right into
is
it.
our daughter Ema. She's been in the business, and you guys hear me joke about it all the time since she was 8 months old. And Ray, you want to come and say hi? Well, you guys know what Ray looks like. Look him up on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
guys. So appreciative. Thank you so much. And before we go on to our slides, I just want to give a quick word about Kara and Ray, 2 very, very giving people in the community. Kara has done one of the hardest 203K loans I've ever had with a client, a house that literally the termites were holding it up, and was able to do the loan. And in the 90s decline of the market, when I was at a very, very low point, Ray was instrumental in helping me get a car, which I've never forgotten. Back when he was at the car dealership, when after the ice rink, and it was a car dealership, now it's ceramic tile. So the Beltran family's helped a lot of local families here for years and years and years. So always grateful to you, Ray. Thank you. And you, Kara, for all the clients you help,
Thank you,
the
Michelle.
Kahumanus.
Oh, my God.
203K loan nightmare. So, okay, so we are into our full timeline. For those of you that want to stay on, I'm going to run through our slides quickly. Ray, our mission statement: to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Where are you on your mission statement? All right, our WI4CT C2TES, our belief system. You all know this, but it's always a great daily reminder. I read it every day when I come in on our wall. Next. Our 6 personal perspectives. I'm not sure which one we're on this month, but we've been rotating through them, so we cover them all twice during the year. Bold is back. This is probably the biggest thing of today's meeting. If you've never taken Bold, here's your opportunity. Typically Bold is $800. I've taken it 5 times. Twice I had to fly to Honolulu every week. Cost a lot of money, but the best program that Keller Williams offers. And because of the disaster, they're offering it for free. And it's modified and customized to Maui. So there will be a lot of mindset, positive motivation, and great tips and tools to help you kickstart your business in this disaster environment. So how do we help our agents and our community families? These are the people who've already committed to Bold. If your picture's not up here, you can email Allie. You can sign up on the poster at the front desk. I've already joined. I hope you all will come in and join me. It's going to be a great opportunity. Keone will be doing Bold this year. So all your leadership will be in the room, and it's going to be a complete focus. Next. Donations and support. So from KW agents, our market centers in our regions across the country, they have shipped materials to the market center. We've received $11,000 in gift cards and more than $65,000 in cash, money of which is being or has already been dispersed out to our families who suffered losses during this time. The KW Care grants are funded by our agents, and we have already dispersed over 15 of those emergency grants through KW Cares. I have committed to give to KW Cares over every transaction. I've done that in the past. I took a break and I'm recommitted. I have seen what they have brought to bear to support our market center and our agents. I encourage you to do the same. These are some pictures of us sorting supplies in the office, supplies that were able for families just to come in and shop. And then we have served dinner at St. Teresa's after the fires and are going to be looking to do that again. So please join us on any volunteer opportunities. I know Liza had a great turnout on Friday at the food bank. So do you want to speak to that at all, Liza? Great. This is the t-shirt that is being sold by KW Corporate for $30. All of the money will go to support Maui families. And here are the slides. Did you want to come join us for a moment, Liza? This is an event that just took place on Friday. So Liza's on her way up.
Aloha, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for showing up on Friday. It's, what's happening on our island is very fluid and changing all the time, and the needs are changing. And what I love about working with the Maui Food Bank is they listen to the community, and I do the same. So we were originally supposed to make 1,000 boxes of food, but Chelsea, and we're going to run this video, I worked with her for 3.5 years. I've never seen her get emotional. But what was happening was the kids that are being bused from the west side, it's a long day for them. It's an hour here, an hour back. And the teachers and the parents were fronting up the money to buy snacks for these kids. So they told the Maui Food Bank, this is what we need. So we were able to pivot from making the 1,000 boxes of food to 1,000 snack bags for our kids here on the island. So want to reconfirm that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So we're going to continually ask for your support. So if you were not able to join us on Friday, we will ask again the next time we have an event like this, and we're going to run some video and some pictures. It was fun. It was also very building for our little community with Keller Williams. Not only Keller Williams agents showed up, other agents from other brokerages showed up. So huge shout out to everyone who came to support us. And
If we can play the video now.
Yeah.
Hands of people. Not only food, but materials. So Chelsea, if you can just give us a brief overview, and thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for coming and helping us today on a week's notice where we had a project, and I know you guys are like, what, that's all the food we're doing today. We had to swap out because we always go for the immediate needs. So originally we were gonna do 1,000 family food boxes, but they weren't needed yet. It was to map out for every single week. Something that was approached to us on Monday was for the students from, who are living in Lahaina, who are going to schools out here. And so you guys helping us today. These students are going home on their bus ride to Lahaina, have snacks. And so this is something the teachers, the community has been doing on their own. And when we heard word from it, we're gonna do it for them. We have the power of the community, we're gonna make it happen. So that's why I'm sorry I don't have this big project that you guys were wanting to do. But this was something I'm like, no, Liza's gonna wanna do this, we're gonna make it happen, and we'll continue.
Love that. Liza will tackle anything, and I'm so proud that she's an agent here with our company. Thank you, Liza. All right, so this was our Maui Food Bank group. Next slide, please. All right, so this was a message from Carrie and our tech team. I don't know if Ray wants to speak to that or not. If you do, Ray, come up. Don't upgrade till you learn more on the new agent site.
Yeah, so as you may know, our new agent site experience is live. It's not automatic. There's a link at the top of your command page to update. But if you're interested in learning more, we've got workshops going on this week. There'll be an e-blast sent out today, but they're happening Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So reach out to myself or Carrie and we'll get you set up.
Thank you, Ray. All right, next slide, please. MAPS coaching. Again, every agent in our company qualifies for free MAPS coaching. You just need to sign up, and you can contact KWRM@gmail.com to, is that for you, Ray? KWRM Tech? And Ray will help connect you through the MAPS coaching program. When I had a MAPS coach, I paid $1,000 a month. You can get a MAPS coach for now through the end of October for free, just because you're an agent with our market center. You have two options. You can get a life coach who's going to help you with grief, transition, depression, motivation, and or a business coach who's going to help you assess where you're at with your business and how do you move forward. For myself, everyone says, oh, they're doing okay, they're doing okay. I wasn't doing okay last week. I got to Friday and I just wanted to crawl in a hole and pull the covers up. We all have that. I took the weekend. I feel much better today and I feel really good, but we got to talk to each other. We have to support each other. I'm sharing this with you because you're not the only one, and everyone is vulnerable, and we don't want to have anyone, shut the door in their house and not come out for a week. And it's real and it can happen. So reach out. If you need help, I'll come grab you and take you to lunch. Just reach out to somebody. Okay, next slide. How to log in. This is on our Hawaii One app. If you are not familiar with it, see Ray. You can get it both for Android and Apple. And this will allow you to access everything you need to know about the market centers, including current training opportunities. So definitely download the app. Next slide. Here is our great Agent Leadership Council, our local board of directors. We are coming to the end of our service year, and in January, we'll be starting with a new board. Some of these faces will continue on, but I want to thank them all for everything they do. They've had a huge impact in our market center this year. Thanks, everyone. Okay, next slide. Kalhana potluck. The next one is, do we have one this Friday?
No.
This is a fourth Friday. Do you want to come speak to that, Liza? Liza, one of our Palhana leaders, is here. And we are going to be kind of transitioning, I believe, the west side, but go ahead, come on up.
So we're searching for a venue for the west side, and we're gonna reach out. We'll be reaching out maybe to Dean or someone thinking about having the west side Pauhana at the Lanikeha Clubhouse, but that's not confirmed. So just look out for the email blast. And it's mostly just to gather together and just build each other up and love on each other, because things are really tough still. So that's what we're gonna do for the next 3 months, and then January we will really focus on learning different topics. But we are gonna get sponsors for the next 3 months, mostly lenders, because they're, like Carol was just mentioning, there's so many different programs out there right now. So we want to learn more so we could be the source of the source for our clients. So look out for the email blast.
Thanks, Liza. All right. So we will start again on the first Friday of the month with our Pauhanas in October. Monthly book club. Steve Landon is not here, but the book club will be October 2nd. And that is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And in November, the book club will be reading Atomic Habits. These are all great books and great skills to be learning. So if you like to read, please get a copy of the book and join us for those weekly meetings. They'll be right after the weekly huddle on Mondays. Next slide. I'm going to pass today on KW Commercial Update. We don't have any new updates today. Our KEA conference room is no longer available. For those of you who have not been in the office, the 808 team has moved into our KEA office. Todd has the very first office on the right. And then the conference room, his team has taken the conference room. So we no longer have a conference room in KEA at this time. You can contact Agent Services, Allie, to reserve the conference room here in Kahului. And we actually have 2 areas, one with a door and then a separate table up front. Next slide. This is a reminder on the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, the do not call list. We want to make sure that our agents know there is a do not call list and how to access it. If you have any questions, please reach out to Agent Services or Ray with Tech. Mahalo, that's it. I did it in 12 minutes. Got through it quick. For those of you not in the Market Center, we had 40 agents online and we have 4 agents in office. Cara Beltran, they brought a beautiful spread of Mamona bakery items, a couple dozen, and a beautiful tray of fresh fruit. We have sponsors bringing in breakfast every Monday. So please plan to join us or pop into the office sometime, before early afternoon. Come eat. We want to feed your soul and we want to have fellowship. So we miss you. We love you. I want you all to have a great week. Go and sell something.
Woohoo! Thanks, Michelle.
Bye, guys.